Alright, everybody, hello, how you guys doing? Happy Sunday. We're doing Bible study today. I'm saying once again. Alright, so we're on Proverbs chapter 4. We're going to read to chapter 7 today. So, today I'm with my brother Jim today. And I'll start it off.
We'll just go right in.
Let's go right in. Because we stopped at, chapter 4? I think we stopped at chapter 4 or 5.
I think it was 4. I think we said 1 to 3.
1 to 3? Oh, okay.
So we can do 4, 5, 6 if you want.
Alright, so chapter 4, Proverbs. So go hear ye children in the structure
I can do it still.
My
Hear
bad.
ye children the instructions of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor. She shall bring thee to honor. When thou dost embrace her. When thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thine life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, and I have led thee in the right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be strained. Thy steps shall not be straitened. Yeah. And when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. Take fast hold of instructions, and let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. You want me to keep going? Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words, and incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes, and keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are issues of life. Put away thee a froward mouth and perverse lips. Put far from thee let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all the ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil.
Man, that was no chapter 4. Honestly, I struggle to read it, King. If I didn't read that true so clean, I struggle to read it. But I like in this chapter, I was looking at just even the first one that says, "Hear ye children the instruction of a father and attend to knowing no understanding. So is that just regarding to God only, or is that like talking about your earthly father as well? You know, you have to listen to your father for knowledge of information, because not recently, but like a couple years ago, when I did get super close to my father, I started to realize that, you know, my life started to change as I listened to, you know, wisdom of man. Or does that just apply to, like, for example, a woman should listen to their mother, or is it just talking about God only? Like, it's that first chapter 4, verse 1, like the instructions.
I mean, here it's doing a bit of both. So it's telling you to listen to the instructions of a father, which is referring to God as the father. You know what I mean? And he's telling you to attain wisdom and understanding. But at the same time, in Proverbs, it is telling you that, right? Like you're supposed to, like in chapter 1, from what we read the other day, it says that a wise man will hear and will increase learning. A man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. You know what I mean? So if someone's giving you good advice, or if someone's giving you something that's useful, you're supposed to listen to it. You know what I mean? And then you use discernment and say, you know, does this affect me? Can this help me? You know what I mean? If it's worth it, and then you use it or not.
Okay, so let's talk about everybody, not just necessarily the father.
You know what I'm saying? It's telling you to listen to God and use like knowledge, understanding. Like, you know, people, Jamaican people be like, oh, use your common sense. Is that that's what they're realistically
Use that
referring
common
to?
sense, why?
Yeah, like it's so knowledge, understanding is common sense. You know what I mean? So like, if you trust in God, you know, you use your discernment, you pray. You know, like you'll naturally increase in common sense. You know what I mean? In knowledge and understanding.
Okay, and the last question I have for this one is number 5. So it says, so chapter 4, verse 5 says, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. So is God saying, like, not just, I know it's a pretty straightforward, but is he saying, like, all right, if you forget my wisdom, that's the reason why people are in situations? Because I notice myself, you know, if you stop using the wisdom, or, you know, someone gives you sound advice, you don't do it, you're gonna end up in situations all the time. Or is God saying, like, all right, you can make it? Because it says God will forgive you for your mistakes, but, you know, when I read this section right here, I'm like, all right, it's like, if I use the wisdom, I won't have to go, obviously you won't go through the mistakes, but it's more so taking that wisdom to every little situation, or is it just certain situations? Because I know sometimes you just do things off a whim. You don't really just, all right, I have to make an answer now, I have to make a decision now, or I have to do what's right now. But like, sometimes you don't get that time to sit down and pray and, you know, get in your Bible about it. So that's why, you know, I'm asking the question. I don't know if you understand the question I'm trying to say.
What God is saying here is that basically God's preparing you to read the Proverbs right now. So there's a bunch of information that he's about to tell you, and a bunch of things that he's trying to show you. For example, about women, about, you know, because the Proverbs 31, women, right? So he's about to give you a bunch of knowledge and information. So he's like, listen, don't just sit here and read all this and just think that it's a joke. There's a lot of power and information here. Like you talk about the law of the 48 powers or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The same type of concept where the Bible is the original information and power. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of information, like for example, my thing has little like chapter breakdowns. So the next chapter is avoid adultery. You know what I mean? Chapter 6 is avoid disaster. You know what I mean? So it's like the Proverbs is specifically how to avoid adultery, how to avoid disaster. So God's telling you, do not decline from my words, because you're about to read his words. You know what I mean? And just decline means like you're not going to listen to it or you're going to ignore it.
All right, let me read chapter 5. So verse 1, my son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard this discretion, and that thou lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman and a drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from page the words of my mouth. Remove thy way from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. And say, how have I hated instructions, and my heart desired reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil and midst of the congregation and assembly. Drink waters out of thine own cisterns, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy foundations be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy foundation be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all things, all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. Last verse 23. He shall die without instructions, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. There's a lot of wisdom in there, honestly. I needed about 2 years ago. But so this is basically saying stay with your wife. Somebody kind of stay with your wife and obey God's instruction, and don't go off with strange woman, aka for understanding for people, hoes. Don't go off there, because you're gonna basically literally, if you don't follow instruction, you will die and go astray. Understand it.
So remember, sometimes it's not physically, like sometimes it's more of a metaphorical thing, right? So you might die in your spirit, or like, you're gonna lose something.
So do you think?
But it's telling you, when you find a good wife, or you find a proper wife, because the Bible then tells you how to do that. You know what I mean? It's like that's going to be a blessing to your life. She's supposed to be a helpmate, right? The evil is supposed to originally help Adam. You know what I mean?
So do you think when he says, do you think it's like, so if you die in your spirit, then you're basically dead all around. Essentially.
And not inclining to wisdom and knowledge, understanding, you can start dying in your spirit type of thing. I mean, you live in the world, you're dying of your spirit, because that's like naturally not listening to God.
Okay, so the man's those who die on earth, but who have a living spirit, most likely entering the gates of life. And
It even tell you to drink the waters of thy own cistern and running waters of thine own well. Like that's trying to maybe it's the same thing. Like you can have your own, so it's like that doesn't. You don't have to worry. Like adultery usually is like, oh, you want something else that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that.
all right, verse 6 here. Want to read this one?
My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself when thou art come into the hand of thy friend. Go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, and a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, and speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deceiveth mischief, and continually he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come, and suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment, forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. When thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burned? Can one go about hot coals, and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth in to his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her, shall not be innocent. Men do not despise a thief, if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore 7-fold. He shall give all the substance of his house. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get. And his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is a rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he reset content, though thou giveth many gifts.
you already know I don't know if I asked you this like a couple years back, but verse 30 and 31. So it says, men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. Right? So does that mean I am drop dead broke, I have no money, I'm hungry, I can steal food?
Fundamentally, yes. Like, if a homeless person was to steal from you as a Christian, you know what I'm saying? Like, it says as long as you don't catch him, you're supposed to just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't catch him in person. Like, so, oh, I saw him on camera. Like, so.
Okay.
And then, like, if God wanted you to see him do it, you would have caught him. You know what I mean?
So do you think in those times when Jesus was walking the earth, like if someone's stealing, so basically, you know how like if you steal, I don't know, was it like if you steal back then, I'm pretty sure, you know, they take your hands or something like that. So it's like if Jesus was there, would he be like, let him go, let him go?
I mean, yeah, so they're just like, why don't you just, like, it's not to say enslave the person or whatever, but you basically, like, they owe you now. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna, like, put them on. You know what I'm saying?
It's a true Jewish interest.
You're supposed to put them on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now you work for me, and now I'll just pay you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still owe me or whatever, but you don't have to steal anymore, you know?
So don't sleep with another man's woman. So verse 25, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. So I don't like, you know how like it's kind of like everyone thinks, or most people think like, all right, if you see a girl, she has to be attractive at first, but so in this verse, it's kind of saying like, all right, you can't really, well, thinking a girl's beautiful is not lusting after her, right? Or how is God trying to convey it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He's talking about, like, seductress women.
Okay, seductress.
So, like, don't be taken with her eyelids. So, like, you know, like, girls wear, like, a lot of mascara or they wear the long eyelashes. You know what I mean?
So if a girl wears eyelids and all that, basically you just say, all right, I'm not doing that.
I mean, technically, yeah. Well, that's not necessarily just it. Like, people can wear makeup, right? That's not necessarily what God's saying. But if you're wearing makeup to be promiscuous, you know what I mean? To, like, purposely seduct, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling you, don't go into the strip club family and see all the girls with eyelids and things and just fall in love with them, you know what I'm saying? A lot of girls out there are not things. Most of the Christian girls, not to say like that, but they don't really wear a lot of makeup and stuff. They like to just, oh, this is natural, I'm just trying to do my thing, you know what I'm saying? At least the ones that are really in their Bible and stuff.
So how do you identify, so last question, how do you identify a non-promiscuous woman? Because these days, like, all the girls are really kind of out there, so, like, how do you know what I'm saying, like who hasn't been promiscuous, like, even in the past, too?
But it's not about the past, it's about now, right? Like, if a person is Christian, then they're born again, right? Or the true Christian, then they're born again, right? Then they get baptized. So that means that stuff that happened in the past no longer exists, right? Because Christ died for your sins, right? But that means still at the same time to identify a person who's not going that. For example, 6:26 says, for by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread. You know what I mean? And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. So it's talking to you even 24 tells you to keep thee from an evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so God's really just talking about, like,
did that really just say like keep a pure woman away from a pure one away from a whorish woman? Verse 24.
no, to keep you.
Keep thee from
and from the so it's and the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. You know what I mean? So basically, it's saying like, not basically. The whole thing is talking about adultery, but it's on you to help you stay away from adultery. Also, don't be tricked by women and their flattery and da 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 da. Realistically, if you're looking for, as a young Christian man, you should be looking for a young Christian woman. So that means she shouldn't be trying to just have sex. You know what I mean? She shouldn't just be trying to just sweet talk you or whatever foolishness. You should be trying to build something. You know what I mean? You're trying to build a home, right? You're trying to build a family. So it shouldn't just be about sex. You know what I mean? In the first place, you know what I mean? Like, it's not all about just what the girl looks like or what a guy looks like either, right? I mean, this person could be crazy. This person could be mad. You know, they can be the sexiest person alive, but they're a serial killer, right? That's what is, you know what I mean? That's what it's telling you, to warn yourself. Like, these are, not to say everybody who's just, you know, good looking is evil, but it's saying there's specific things to look for.
So this is basically when you're seeking a wife, or for a woman when you're seeking a husband, you look for these things.
Yes, family. Because remember, it's about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So a part of having wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is those things. Right? Because even in the first part of 6, it talks about being a sluggard, right? And you're like taking long to do things, or you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Verse 9, to sleep also. So don't even be lazy either.
Right? And then it mentions the 6 to 7, it mentions 7 things that God hates. Right? So it says, these six things doth the Lord hate, 6:16. And 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, right? So being too prideful. A lying tongue, right? Lying lips is abomination to the Lord. Hands that shed innocent blood, right? Thou shalt not kill. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, right? When you think bad things about people, or when you think just negative things. So you just want to have sex with somebody, you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna, dick this down, I'm gonna da 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 down, you know what I'm saying? Even for girls, they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? They think about that type of stuff too, right? That's bad. You know what I'm saying? Right? Feet that be swift in running to mischief. You know what I'm saying? You're quick to go get yourself caught up in some foolishness. You're quick to go get caught up in beef, caught up in cuss out people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. You know what I mean? A false witness that speaketh lies, right? Once again, lying lips is abomination, and it also says a lying tongue. So a person who's lying on somebody to try to get them in trouble, that's a false witness. You know what I mean? So you try to send someone to jail for no reason, you try to, well, back in the day, they would just tell Roman, right? That's a sin. Right? And he that soweth discord among brethren. So soweth discord means like you're trying to create contention between people.
Gossip.
That's it. Right? And then he tells you to keep these commandments. Like, so don't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then do not forsake the law of thy mother. So here I'm not necessarily sure if it's referring to your actual mom, but I think it's referring to the concept of wisdom is a woman. So if God is the father, wisdom is the mother.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So if God is the father, wisdom is the mother. So don't forsake the law of thy mother. The mother is knowledge, you know what I mean? And wisdom. So this is the wisdom part. So he's like, listen to this. This is important. Like, this will save you. You know what I mean?
These 7 things, these 6 things, definitely have to. So I want to read Proverbs because I already know.
Yeah, because look, in 21 he tells you to bind them continually upon thy heart and tie them about thy neck. So he's telling you, like, remember that shit, like, wear it around you. Like, this is what you need to do all the time. Like, you don't have time to lie on people. You don't have time to think wicked things about people. You don't have time to try to, I'm going to top off this person's face. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Keep your sanity.
You know what I'm saying? Right? When thou goest, it shall lead thee. Right? When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. So you'll get a peaceful sleep. When you go outside, you won't have to worry about shit. You're like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about this guy and his foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
No one's coming to backdoor me.
Yeah, like what did I do to this person to deserve that? You know what I'm saying? Say I've never been wicked, bad mind, none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Not to say good people still get fucked over, but, right? If you have common sense and knowledge and understanding God, you won't be around that shit, because God told you to stay away from evil men, right? And evil women, so you won't get backdoored because you're staying away from a wicked woman who's trying to backdoor you.
A lot of nights get backdoored in hotels.
Right, because these niggas, you know, so you have to use discernment for me. If for sure they want, even if you think about that shit, you be like, why you want to go to a hotel? Don't you have a place? Don't I have a place? Don't you have a car? What about date? You know, like real shit. Like back in the day, people used to go on at least a date first. Like people say, well, you have to take me out to eat first. But so I'm saying, so sometimes you do have to use discernment like that. Like, for example, if someone's willing to just sleep with you right away, how many other people are they willing to sleep with?
So would you think that's a red flag? Like, first
Super
date?
red flag. Because you have to think about STDs, bro. Fuck that. I'm not getting no herpes, no AIDS, none of that shit. Just because I'm trying to, oh yeah, this girl looks good. So what? If she's sleeping with 100 niggas a day, what does that mean? Remember, most disease is just from not being clean. It has nothing to do with even, oh, this person. It's because you did something nasty.
So that's where it just comes up from build-up.
Yeah, from realistically yeast buildup, different buildup, it's bacteria. Like, they talk about that stuff all the time. Like,
So if you're with a girl who has a yeast infection, you'll catch it too?
you can, yes.
Okay. I thought it was only for women.
No, you can catch a UTI, bro. Men can get UTIs.
UTI.
A urinary tract infection. Yeah, family.
What is it? Urinary tract infection.
Yeah, like in your, like
So all through the bloodline of...
in your pee, like yeah, family. Your urine will be like you'll have trouble
Yeah,
peeing
yeah.
and shit.
Oh,
Trust me, family. That's why you see bear drinking bear cranberry juice and shit. Like that's what it is.
Flush that out.
Yeah, cranberries and like sour stuff or bitters are good for UTIs.
I can't do no STDs, man.
I'm telling you.
I can't do that.
Look at that. What's that shorty's name? She's some short, like light skin shorty. She's like a thicker thing, like on Instagram. She's like she did OnlyFans. She slept with the guy.
She
She was
got the HSV2 or something?
yeah, fam. She's 18, 19 years old. Sleeping with this guy. This guy never told her that he was a thing. But the guy was sleeping with how many different people? You know what I'm saying? How many different guys? The guy burnt the whole OnlyFans industry in LA.
She has herpes now.
For life. Like that's what you really have to realize, family. Like, that's the craziest thing.
Imagine gonna still do it, you know? Not take the risk.
Guys still deal with that, of course, but because they try to say there's signs like it's only contractable during flare-ups. So like once a week during the month it will just show up like a period, you know what I'm saying, and it'll just be really bad, and then
Without that time, you can just